Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Netvue Floodlight Cam. I'm going to be trying something a little bit different with the camera so I can have both hands free while I unbox it and set this guy up. So just before we go in, let's take a look around the box. You can just see some of the contact information for Netvue. There is a QR code so you can download the Netvue app. And then here you can just see that it's got HD video, motion detection, two-way audio, and a remote LED light. Let's see, is there anything on the bottom? Nope. Let's see what's inside. Sorry about the mess. Kind of moving stuff around right now. So in here, we got a little waterproof junction box. Let's put it aside. Looks like we have the camera itself. It's a short cable. Some mounting hardware. A grounding bracket, probably a mounting bracket, and a quick start guide. What's this? I think this is, oh no. And this is just the instructions for the waterproof junction box. Just basically more instructions that they have in the quick start guide. So I actually was going to make a video of this a few days ago, but then I realized that the way I was going to mount it wasn't probably going to be something that everybody could do, because this does hook up straight to the mains voltage. So I kind of figured out two ways that you guys can do it to make it a little bit simpler. First being, let's get this guy. You can just take an extension cable, chop off the female end, and use the cables, the wires inside there to hook it up. Or the way I'm gonna do it is you can just take some electric wire and a male bracket for it. Ideally, if you can, this is gonna hook up straight to a normal plug. So if anybody unplugs it, you accidentally unplug it, it will turn the camera off. So if you can, it is recommended that you hook it up straight to mains voltage. But I know that for a lot of people, that's a little scary job. You know, you might not really be comfortable working around that. So I'm just gonna show you guys a way to do it a little bit simpler, just a little bit of an easier setup, so that more of you can do it, more of you guys can enjoy this camera. All right, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so now that we're a little bit more organized, I just want to show you guys some of the things that we're gonna need. You are going to need the camera itself, obviously, all of the mounting hardware that it comes with, the junction box, a drill. It's not required, but it's definitely recommended, because if you have to feed any of the wire through, it'd be a lot easier to drill a hole in the area that you need it pulled through. It's also recommended that you have some sort of flathead screwdriver and a drill bit set for your drill, just to make things a little bit easier again. And then you can either go hooking the wire straight up to your mains, making your own little extension cable, or taking an existing extension cable and just cutting off the female end of it, just so you can kind of use that as the wire to hook this up to mains voltage. Other than that, you're going to need a phone to set it up and view all of the videos that come from it. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. The installation process actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So I'm just going to kind of voice over what I was doing in the video as I speed it through. So you could see there that I actually bent the cable into a little L. And that was just so it was a lot easier for me to put into the hole and then push it through to where I needed it to go. Then I took a ladder, just kind of climbed up there and searched for the wire. And like I said, this could work with a normal electrical wire like this and then just putting the end on, or you can do it with an extension cable and just cutting off the female ends where you would plug in your devices, just so you can plug this right into the cable coming out of the Netvue cam. So here you can see that I started putting the brackets on. I first tried doing it just by screwing the screws right in without pre-drilling. That quickly came a problem, so I just took a drill bit, pre-drilled just some small holes. It's a lot easier for me to put the mounting hardware onto the wood. One of the issues that I had with this camera is that the cables, the ground wire, and the wire for the power coming out of the Netvue cam, they're really short, and it's kind of hard to work with them. So that's just something to keep in mind. They are really short, and you can see here that it got really dark, so I had to bring another light out. And the other problem you can see here is the junction box. I would highly recommend you getting a junction box from the store. This one in particular, it gave me a lot of problems. I actually couldn't feed the ground wire of the Netvue cam into it just because the holes were too small. I had actually left the ground wire just hanging there for now until I can get another junction box. And here you can see that I plugged in the, I hooked up the end of the connector to the wire. Make sure you put the sleeve of the connector on first, just because if you don't, you put the butt part of it on first, then you will have to take that guy off to put the sleeve back on. Setting this camera up compared to the other Netvue cameras that I have paired to the app was a little bit more challenging. For some reason, it just wouldn't connect the very first time. I believe it's because I waited too long after I plugged it into the power. Also, make sure you're connected to a 2.4 gigahertz connection when you're initially setting it up. After that, you can be connected to any Wi-Fi you want to. Just for initial setup, make sure it's 2.4 gigahertz. Other than that, just follow the simple steps on the app. It walks you right through the setup. You will have to place the barcode in front of the camera, and that's about it. Before I go, I just want to say that this camera is super bright, and the resolution of the image is actually really good compared to a lot of the higher end models. And I mean, for the price, you really can't beat it.